All right, welcome back to the live stream. Goodness. Okay, where to start? Actually, one second. Okay, I'm back. So I just got back from vacation literally last night. If you hear noises in the background, that's Zazio trying to bury a bone in the carpet. So he's not doing very well. Anyways, so yeah, I just got back and I need to get back into a routine, but there's a lot of things that we have going on. So while I was gone, before I left, I said I wanted to log in every day and, check all of these things. Sorry that I went from dark to white really fast. Yeah, so that's what I said, right? But then what happened? Life happened. I was having a good time on vacation, and you know what? I wasn't able to do that. I mean, I guess I could have, but I don't know. I was, in the evenings, I was hanging out with my family and just doing stuff, spending time with them, my parents. And so, I didn't really want to pull out the computer and, you know, write a bunch of stuff down, which also brings me to writing a bunch of stuff down. So I've been calculating everything separately, individually. So I have what, three running worksheets. I may need to combine it into one worksheet, right? Where I'm combining all of the possible trades within the parameters that I set. Every single one um instead of at this time, like, okay, so let me just pull up what I had been doing and we'll go over that. And then obviously I'll talk about the new changes to just my life in general. I mean, there hasn't been a ton, but kind of. Anyways, so where do I even go to find all of that? Okay, it's not this. Oops, did I click the right one? I don't know anymore. I have multiple email accounts, and two of them are specifically related to trading, but I don't know. I forgot which one I'm using for my journal. Okay, it's this one. So, as it stands right now, hold on, let me go find the Google Sheets. Pup, what are you chewing on? I don't know. He's crunching on stuff. Okay, so I have three journals going so far. And as you can see, oops, as you can see with each one, this one is trading from 10 to 12 using um, the primary secondary trading strategy. Then 7:30 to 8:30 using primary to secondary trading strategy. Then I have this one that combines 7:30 to 8:30 and 10 to 12, and it is um, primaries only, no EMA, And yeah, primary only, no EMA, and and secondary only as after the primary fails, right? So I have three running journals, and that was one of the reasons why it was hard to want to get on the charts, because I wasn't just looking at, oh, it wasn't like at the end of the night I just check, okay, so what happened between 10 and 12 and 7:30 and 8:30. No, it was like what happened between 10 and 12, 7:30 and 8:30, and then a combination of both of these times with a totally different, with a different spin on the strategy. Basically, the spin excludes the EMA and it limits the secondaries. Zazio, I don't know if you can hear that, but he is making a lot of noise. Anyways, so yeah, basically one strategy being spread out over two different charts, and then another strategy that is on one chart, but it's having to take into account two different times. So it was making it kind of irritating to try to keep track of all of them. Um, but this one I feel like is necessary, because, and the only reason why is because it's a different strategy. This is a different time frame, but this is a different strategy. So what I may end up doing is keeping two instead of three, and the one will combine these times with one strategy, and this will be a separate strategy. Same times, separate strategy. Sazio, okay. He's making the most noise I can hear it echo. Okay. So that's something that I'll need to do. Also, let's go here. Well, why don't we go here? Because while I was on vacation, I did this. Wait, log in. So, yes, while I was on vacation, I actually paid for the, if you can see it up here, let me make sure you can. Okay, it's kind of out of the site, but this is reset. So I paid for the Express account while I was on vacay. So we are now on a funded account, which is kind of big. Haven't been on a funded account in a minute. And by a minute, I mean a very long time. So that's another thing that happened. Also, while I was on vacation, something else happened. Let me pull it up. Potentially. 1 second. So, yes, while I was on vacation, something else happened. All right, let me just drag this over so we can all see. So, while I was on vacation, I was talking to my dad, and he was telling me about how he used to be a life insurance agent. And I was like, a life insurance agent, what is that? So he was talking about it, and the more he talked about it, the more I was like, why don't I have my insurance agent license? I mean, it's perfect. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it's perfect, because before I was getting my real estate license, and I finished one course, but then I realized that doesn't really work with where I am in life. I have a full-time job. See, I want something that I can do part-time and on the side. So I have a full-time job, and I need something that works with that. And when you're a real estate agent, sometimes you have to be in the office. They require you to go to trainings because you're on like a real estate team, and then you have to go to houses, you have to show houses, you're working nights and weekends because that's typically when people can go see houses, because they have jobs too. And so, then my weekends and my evenings are taken up showing houses, which, I mean, can be fine, but then I'm driving around and it's not even that, just showing houses. Sometimes you have to stage them and you have to do the photography and you have to coordinate with all these people and it turns into a whole ordeal. And and then you have to, I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. And the thing about selling, this part of the course is on accident and healthcare. I mean, in health, but life insurance is where I'm focusing on. But I'm gonna get the full life and health insurance license instead of just the life license. But it's honestly, it's very eye opening. There's a lot of things that I wasn't aware of, and now that I'm taking the course, like every time I hear something, I'm thinking in terms of insurance. Like my mom, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to the doctor. I have an appointment for this whatever." And in my mind, I'm thinking like, did you have a copay, or was it co-insured, or did you meet your deductible? All things that, okay, I didn't know what a deductible was before. Like I heard the term and I knew it was something, okay, you had to pay it. But I don't know, it's really opening my eyes to a lot of basic things, but also these kind of things that they're necessary for people. And yes, the insurance company is making money too, but at the end of the day, it's really to help people, because medical expenses are is one of the number one reasons why people go bankrupt, right? Because of unexpected medical expenses you can't pay. Healthcare is expensive, and so having insurance can help ease that burden. And then let's not even go into life insurance. When you die, right? Guess what? All of those bills and things that you have, they're gonna come after, you know, your next of kin or whatever. And so having life insurance helps take care of the people that you leave behind. And honestly, I never really thought of myself as, oh, I'm going to sell life insurance. But the more I read about it, the more I'm like, it's not just about selling someone. Would I go door to door and sell people a set of kitchen knives? No. Go buy some cheap ones at Walmart, okay? Save yourself a couple $100. But, I'm not selling garbage stuff like that people don't need. Things that are useful, but things that people don't need. But things like life insurance, yeah, you kind of do need it because guess what? Living is expensive and so is dying. So get life insurance, people. Anyways, that was a whole nother segment. Anyways, so that's what I'm gonna be working on for the next for the I should finish this course hopefully by the end of this week or middle to end of next week because I was traveling and so some of my momentum got lost in the process, but I'm over halfway done with it already and I started last Friday. So I've only been doing it not last Friday, but like last Friday. So I've only been doing it for a little over a week and I'm halfway through. And then my exam, when is my exam? My exam will be January 17th, which is a Saturday. And honestly, the testing center is like 10 minutes away. So that's good. But I will be studying for this pretty much daily because the course helps. But the biggest thing to do is to do the practice tests. And apparently, only like 50% of people pass on their first try. So it's not an easy test. It's like a 2.5, 2 hour test. I think it's 2.5 hour test. And it's not easy. So yeah, and then a lot of the emphasis is going to be on Texas specific laws. So I need to really hammer those down. So taking the practice test is going to be my best friend. Is just take practice tests over and over until I'm consistently scoring like in the 90s. So that's what I'll be doing once I pass the course, obviously, because I don't want to start taking practice tests and not have some of these terms or concepts already introduced, like I'm introducing them. And so that brings me to what my new schedule will look like. Okay. There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many, and quite frankly, there's not enough. Not enough. So, what I'm looking at doing, come here, you. Zazio is roaming around. He might have to go out. He was just out maybe a couple hours ago, but he can go out again. So, what is this, pup? Is that caramel? What? It's caramel melted to the desk for no good reason. Okay, so this is what is it, Bubby? Now you can't eat that. Now, Papa. What is it? Oh, it is caramel. And I don't think you can have caramel because it's not good for puppies. Okay? Yeah, while we were on vacation, Zazio ate nightshade. And if you don't know what nightshade is, oh, let me show you. Pups it. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to keep Zazio distracted so he's not bothering me. Okay. Let's look up nightshade. So, if you don't know, a tomato is actually um, part of the nightshade family. This is what it looks like right here. Let's click on that picture. This is what deadly nightshade looks like. This is very, why does it say wonderberry? I don't know, maybe that, but nightshade does look like this black nightshade seed. I don't know why someone called it a wonderberry. You cannot eat these. They are poisonous and they're called, no, let's say this. They're called deadly for a reason. Deadly nightshade. Do not eat. Well, guess what? Is that we're walking outside and Zazio eats about 7 of these berries. One of them is bad. He eats 7 of them. How do I know he eats 7 of them? Because first of all, I seen him eating and I was like, what's he eating outside? You know, I was thinking, oh, maybe he found some poop or something. He's always eating poop outside. Well, I'm like, I'm gonna go stop him because he was over there munching on stuff for a good 60 seconds. So I go over there and guess what I see? A nightshade plant. And I'm like, oh no. It's deadly. It'll kill goats, it'll kill animals, and it's typically found in fields, which is where we were walking, was in a field. It's typically found in fields, and it's not good. And that's why you're supposed to spray for nightshade. Don't know why. And there wasn't like a couple of berries. There were like probably 75 to 150 berries on this thing. Like there were a lot of berries because I went back later and cleaned them up. But aside from the point, tons of nightshade and he's just munching on it like it's a snack, like it's a blueberry, a delicious little snack. He eats them. So I'm like, oh no, oh no, these are deadly. So I go inside and I'm like, I brought a handful. I was like, maybe this is a nightshade, maybe I'm just overreacting. So I showed my dad. I'm like, Papa, is this nightshade? And he's like, yep, that's deadly nightshade, it'll kill goats. And I'm like, well, Zazio just ate a bunch of it, and they're like, oh no. Well, Zazio was running around happy as a clam. Then guess what? He froze and he makes a beeline for the door. And I picked him up and then he threw up. Then he threw up like about 3 times outside and inside. And so he just throwing up, raspy breathing. You know, I'm panicking. I was like, oh no. Oh no. My mom gave him, so after he threw up, he seemed fine. We gave him some activated charcoal and and then he was fine, but you know, those hours you're waiting to see if any of the neurological side effects start kicking in because it could be, you know, unsteady walking, seizures, lethargy, all of these things. So I'm looking out for all of these possible signs that, you know, he's a goner and he's acting fine. And then, you know, the time window passed and he was fine, but it's like, well, I'm gonna watch him more carefully. So then days later, the day before I leave, actually, because he ate this on Thursday, which was Thanksgiving Day. So then the day before I leave, which is then following Thursday, we're walking outside and I start to walk into the field, but I don't even go very far because I'm like, oh, wait, nightshade. So I turn around. We hadn't even walked maybe 30 feet into the field because there's like a road and I didn't even go hardly anywhere. Right? I started walking. I was like, nope, never mind. And I walked back. He's following me. I'm like, cool, cool. He stops on the side of the road and he starts eating something. This time he only grabs maybe a bite or two, and I ran over there. I was like, now what is he eating? Nightshade, more nightshade. Only when we went back to look for it, it wasn't there. But he was eating nightshade again. I don't know what is it with him and trying to die, but that's what he was doing on vacation. Anyways, that was a whole side rant about nightshade. Don't eat it. It'll kill dogs, people, animals. It does not discriminate. It is literally called deadly for a reason. Um yeah, right here. It literally says, remember, deadly nightshade is extremely poisonous, causing severe symptoms like hallucinations, convulsions, and death, even in small doses. Even in small doses. So treat it with extreme caution. And then this idiot, I ate a mouthful of black nightshade. Here's what happened, I guess. Why would you do that? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Okay. Uh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It says, deadly nightshade can be poisonous to touch as toxins can be absorbed through the skin, causing a rash or in some cases poisoning if a sufficient amount is absorbed. Safe to avoid touching the plant and wear gloves and protective. See, when I went back outside to um to clean it up, I um actually did touch it with my hands, and then I did went go and get gloves because, but like, come on, why this cute little berry has to be deadly? Uh, hmm? Do do do. Yeah, so it's part of the potato family. It's part of the tomato family, the potato tomato. Yeah. Anyways, that was a side note. Ooh, that's bright. Anyways, nightshade. Don't eat it. And I'm not watching that stupid video. Someone saying they ate nightshade. Okay. So yeah. Anyways, so now that we have a funded account, we're gonna be trading, obviously. But one thing I need to do is redo Zazio. I need to redo how I'm keeping track of everything because doing three separate ones is kind of unnecessary. I'll probably just make it two because it is two separate strategies. So I will make two instead of one. 1 second. All right, I am gonna need to go in a little bit because Zazio is out of control. Anyways, so yeah, so one thing I will be redoing my I'll be redoing my charting, and then also I will be, um, trading, obviously. Time frames still the same. It may be difficult to do the 10 to 12 simply because I'm working. And so, it's going to be hard to try to do that every day consistently. But when I can, I will. And if I can't, then I will just um chart it. But now that we're back, we will be charting. Um and honestly, I should be charting now because I should be. Okay. Can't say that I need to do it and then not do it. So, what's that gonna look like? As far as my whole day, it's probably gonna go something like wake up, do my real, oh my gosh, I keep calling it a real estate class. It's not. Do my insurance class, and study for that. And then I'll have work, obviously. At some point in there, I need to take Zazio to the park, although we didn't go today because he's been really tired from the trip. So there's that. And then I think what I'm gonna do is, since this is the longest one, I'm just gonna take the info from this one and put it in this one. Um, and then yeah, so at some point Zazio goes to the park. Work day ends. I go to fitness class, typically only Monday through Wednesday, although sometimes they add a Thursday in there for some. I don't think I'm gonna do 4 days a week because that's driving. I get stuck. Okay, the place is like maybe 25 minutes away on a normal day, but because of traffic, it takes me 50 minutes to an hour just to get there. And on some days, I don't feel like sitting for an hour in traffic just to go work out for 45 minutes and then drive 30 minutes back. You know what I'm saying? It's just no. So, some days I will actually not go to fitness class. Um, but typical days, um, I will be going to fitness class. And if I don't have fitness class, then I can stay home and maybe go to the gym at my apartment. Although there's a keypad that has a code to get in the gym, and I haven't bothered to walk over and give the apartment complex people. I haven't bothered to give them their key back and ask them for the door code, because you know what they do? They change things and then they don't tell anyone, and you have to go begging for the information. Anyways, it annoys me, so that's why I haven't gone over there. Anyways, so yeah, goodness, let me work on, well, yeah, so let me work on changing this. Where did we go? Yeah, let me work on this, and then we will be good to go. Where is my, sorry. And there'll be no music today because I don't feel like having to go find any because I don't have time for that. Oh, and later, my fiance. Oh yes, that's also what happened. Got engaged day before Thanksgiving. Good stuff, good stuff. Anyways, but no, he's gonna be helping me make overnight oats because he used to hate oatmeal, and then I made him oatmeal. Then he loved it. Then he's got, I don't know, maybe his little oatmeal obsession and oats obsession. So he says that overnight oats are amazing, so he's gonna be helping me make some because yeah, I don't know. All right, let's work on this. Oh, this one, I never, what happened here? This is one the day that we left and I was supposed to come through um and write down all of the stuff, and I never did. I never did. So, and also I think this day was just all zeros. So that happened. Okay. So now we're going to take everything. Actually, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up these. I'm not going to create new entries. I'm just going to add these to this one, and then let's do this. Yeah, we're just going to add this to this one and then we'll do it after. Okay. So this started Monday. So on Monday we had 3 for 3. Okay. Then on Tuesday we had 2 and 0. Then on Wednesday we had 2 and 1. So the number of trays would be 3 and 2. And then on Thursday we had 4 and 2. So that would be 8 and 4. Okay. And then on Sunday, okay, so here's the problem. Sunday would really be, I can't count Sunday. Okay. So then Monday, the 17th, what happened here? Okay, I also don't count Fridays. So where I do count Sundays, I don't count Fridays. So I need to count Friday instead. 1 second. This makes it more complicated. Insert a row. Is it below? Yes, insert a row below. Okay, so now we'll have Friday. Friday, November 14th, 2025. Okay, so Friday we have 4 and 4. Oops. And then Monday we have 1 and 1, so that becomes 5 and 4. And then on Tuesday we had 5 and 4, so that would become 9 and, this is Tuesday, right? Okay, 9 and 6. Okay, let me make sure that was right. Yeah, 9 and 6 because it was 2. Okay, so then Wednesday would be 7, 7 and 6, which would make this 9. Wait, yeah, 9 and 6. Okay, and then Thursday, why didn't I write down Thursday? Oh, guess okay, Thursday was a 0 day, so let's do 13 and 9. Okay. All right, so now both charts are combined, and this is our number. Now that messes up my equity curve week by week, but it's fine. I can restart it. So, or I can just do it based off of the month or something, but that's beside the point. So our total, goodness, our total percentage for this one strategy is 71%. And I'm going to change the name of this. EMA filter strategy because the only difference is how do you spell strategy? Okay, I don't know. Let's say EMA filter. We already know the time frame. Okay, so we'll do EMA filter, primary, and secondary. Okay, then that is one strategy. Okay, now we're gonna go here. We're gonna rename this one. So this is the other one. So we can get rid of this. We won't delete it, but we just don't need it. So this one is no EMA what did I do? 1 second. What have I done? I don't know. It's glitching. It's slow. The whole thing's broken. Stop saving. Okay. Okay. Primary. Okay. This is primary, no EMA, primary, but this does include secondaries if the primary fails. So that's the only way it includes a secondary. But we don't have very many trades to substantiate whether or not this is effective. Like we don't have a big enough pool of trades. I mean, 118 to 46 is pretty small. Anyways, okay, so now that it is a new day, we can get rid of this because we didn't do anything on this day. Unfortunately, but it was also Thanksgiving weekend. Those numbers might have been crazy. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So we're only doing Monday because I didn't do yesterday. I was driving. And it is December. What day is it? What time is it? Oh wait. December 8th. Okay, and the same here. Okay, so now we'll just do these numbers. Hold on. Why is this glitching so much? Cancel. It's like I click a button and then the whole thing just goes haywire. Okay. Stop. That's literally, it doesn't matter. Okay. Why is it when I did this, it did not work that way? Yeah. Okay. So now let us do our calculations. Let's do primary and secondary first. So let's go here because today will be accurate. All right, so we're starting back at 10. What time is it? Oh yeah, 10. Okay. So starting at primary and secondary, we have 1, 2, and that's it. We only have 2 trades during that time frame. Both of them were decent. Okay. So let us go back. So primary and secondary, we've had 2 trades. 2 of them are good. We still have to count the ones tonight. Oh, dang it. I forgot. So I still have another hour of this stream. Okay. And then the no EMA, just the primary, we'll count that. So for that, we have, okay. So the first one was here. So we have 1 and we have 2, but that one failed. So the third one was good. And then we have, so 3 and then 4. Actually, no, that doesn't count. Sorry. Between the time frame, I forgot. So 1 and then, oh, there's just 1. Okay, sorry. I was looking at the whole thing, but it was just 1 trade. Okay. This is no EMA filter, so there is only 1 trade. Okay. So far, what is this? I don't know. Something happened to my percentages. No, we're not. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, it should be. Why? Why would I? Okay, that's the problem. This whole thing is messed up. 2 seconds. I wish there was a button that just said clear. Delete cells. Shift left. I don't care. Just shift left, shift up. I don't care. Okay, there we go. And delete that. Okay. Whatever it suggested was not good. Why is it doing that? Okay, I have to redo this now. Why was that difficult? I don't understand. Okay, maybe somehow this got messed up. Hold on. That was weird. Okay. Do, 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 do. Oh, I don't know why. Okay. I messed it up myself. Okay. Let me just go delete all of those. Okay. Hmm? Why? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Okay. That's better. No. One of these. This one is wrong. What? What? Okay, I need to go check these because for some reason that's correct, that's correct, that's correct, that's correct, that's correct. That's incorrect. This should say 8 or 7. No, it should say 8. I don't know why it's saying that. Well, that's a much sadder number, but whatever. Okay. What? Just never mind. Now I feel like I need to go and fix all of these because these should all be right now. Let me go check this. Wait. Okay. So none of these should be saying weird things. Okay. Anyways, okay. So this is what we're looking at. I will be back to enter numbers for after 8:30, but I will not be sitting here because I have other things to do and Zazio is he's going back to his old self. He slept all day, he was exhausted, and now he's finding it in himself to be obnoxious again. So, but yeah, you see how that's a lot easier than trying to calculate 10 to 12 and then have another one for 7:30 to 8:30 and then having to calculate this one on both fronts. It was just annoying. So instead, we'll just do this. And then, yeah, when I need to trade this, gotta trade it. You know, it's funded, so it's almost less stressful than doing trying to pass an account, but at the same time, it's more stressful because it's like you already passed, you paid the eval fee, you passed, you spent, it took a month or so to pass the account, and then you had to pay, I had to pay the activation fee, but I did it around Thanksgiving, so there was a deal. It was a Black Friday deal. So it was nice. But now I'm just like, oh crap, like it's real. It's real. But it's just one of my many, many pastime hobbies. Not even a hobby, but it's just one of the many things I'm doing, you know, full-time job, trading. I still am doing Lyft driving, but I need to clean the car from the trip because it's a mess. So I have Lyft driving on the side. And then now studying for my insurance license. So, and then once I get my insurance license, I will be doing that on the side as well. So, a lot of things going on, but it is good. I will leave this running for the next 45 minutes or so, but I'm gonna go take Sazio out. Need to do some meal prepping. I mean, finish meal prepping. So yeah, I will be I will be back. Oh, and I'll leave this up so you have something to look at other than my numbers. Okay. All right, I'm back from the dog. Um, yeah, what was I? Okay, I forgot one more thing. I can't believe I forgot it. So, also, the evenings will be used to do my Bible study as well because I'd like to reflect on the day that has passed. I do some reflection in the morning, obviously, but I like to reflect after the day has passed, you know? And yeah, so that's what I'll be doing. Maybe not for 30 minutes, but we have another 30 minutes. No trades have happened um, in this time. So, Zazio, this isn't puppy food. Okay. Um, Here, Bob, just take the whole thing. Okay. So, today's ugh, today's Bible verse, and I read it, and then I said to myself, I'll reflect on that later, and I never did. So, we'll do the verse of the day, and then I'll reflect on it, and I'll also talk about what I learned or what I realized while I was on vacation. So, today's verse is Proverbs 4 23, and it says, Keep your heart with all vigilance, why? For from it flow the springs of life. And, you know, I think this speaks to many verses. Let me read some of those other verses. Mm, yeah, so Philippians 4 7 says, And the peace of God which passeth all understanding shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Um, basically keeping your heart, right? And then we have ish, what's the other one? Ba-ba-ba-ba. Hold on. There's one that I'm thinking of, and I know don't know what it is, but it's about here's one created me a pure heart. They did not understand the assignment clearly. Um, oh yeah. Here's one that I like to live by. Um, which is Romans 12:2, which says, Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Um, then you will be able to test or prove what is good and acceptable. The reason why I like this is because every day there comes trials and tests and just struggles, issues, and minor inconveniences. And they're all opportunities for you to either um, act as Jesus would or let yourself be like everybody else of this world. And you can get mad, you can curse, you can swear, you can be rude, flip somebody off in traffic, lay on the horn, um, you know, but at the end of the day, um, it's really about, keeping your heart pure because you know the saying of you act like the people you hang around with, or you put a good apple in with a bunch of bad apples, that apple is going to spoil, right? The rot is going to spread. One second. Sorry, Zarzazio kept biting me. Yeah, he comes in from outside. He's in a good mood and he says, I'm in a good mood. Let's bite mama. Okay, we're not doing that. So he is in a timeout. Anyways, um, what was I even saying? Um, oh yes. So what and and then there's this other verse. Let me find which verse it is because it's a good one. Okay, this one, Matthew 12, verse 34, it says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And it's so true. Out of the, and maybe I said this in another stream, but it's true. What's in your heart eventually comes out, but also the reverse is true, right? What you allow, um, yeesh, what you allow into your heart, what you allow to influence you can also become your heart as well. You know, if you are influenced by a lot of hateful messages and you let that sit there and you let it ruminate, what starts to happen? Right? Because, okay, let's say you hear a hateful message and you're like, oh, I don't agree with that. You turn it off. But what happens if you keep listening and you keep listening? Because there's a reason why you're still listening. You let it plants a little seed of, maybe I get what this person is saying. Maybe I get part of this hateful message, and then you let it keep playing and playing. Eventually, what happens? You start to um it starts to grow inside of you, that little seed of hatefulness or that seed of whatever, fill in the blank. It starts to grow, and yeah, not good, not good. So basically, what I'm getting at is what is inside comes out, and what's on the outside seeps in. I was watching a video and I don't remember what the video was. Oh, that's what it is. It was okay. It was one of the My 600 Pound Life or 1,000 Pound Life. Um, it was a reaction channel I was watching, but basically they were talking about fried chicken and how chicken in and of itself is it's good for you to an extent, high sodium, but whatever, it's good for you. Well, you bread it and you fry it. Okay, the breading is obviously not good for you, right? And it's fried, deep fried. So definitely not good for you. And one of the characters in the whatever, they were like, oh, well, if you take the outside of the chicken off, it's better for you, right? And then one of the other characters was like, actually, no, it isn't because the oil seeps in, right? It seeps into the chicken. So now the whole thing is bad for you. And it's very true. Like when you let's say you're the chicken and you're getting deep fried in, I don't know, just bad stuff, listening to bad music, hanging around bad, say bad people with bad, I don't know, intentions, or um, yeah, I don't know, people who, yeah, whatever. And you surround yourself with media and friends and habits and all these things that are not good, right? Well, what starts to happen? Is it just the outside that's affected? Oh, maybe you swear a little bit more. You watch a lot of swearing on TV, like a lot of the movies and shows you watch have swearing, and then you hang around people that swear a lot. Maybe a swear word slips out. Is that a surface level issue? Actually, no, it's a deeper issue because why? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You're not accidentally swearing because, oh, you heard a swear word on TV. It comes from inside, right? Because, for example, my default when something happens, I'll I'll say something like cheese biscuits or son of a cracker noodle. I'll make up some stupid word, but that's my default, right? I'll say, I'll say something ridiculous or stupid, usually food related. Um, but my default isn't a swear word. It isn't. And I can watch things that have swear words in them and whatever, but it's not because I like to. I don't think, swearing is this kind of stupid to me. And also, my parents always said, it's uneducated and it's not is it uncouth or undignified? I mean, seriously. Yeah. So, I don't know. I always just assumed it was like a lower level, lower class type thing to do is to swear. So, I don't know. I never really liked doing it, but I would hang around people that would. And at a certain point in my life, yeah, I used to swear a lot more. Now I'm just like, it's dumb. Anyways, the point of the matter is when I think about this verse, um, let's go back to the verse. Keep your heart with all vigilance. Keeping your heart, like, what does that mean? When I think about it, it's not just, oh, your heart. What does that actually mean? What do you do to keep your heart? Things like staying in the word, reading the Bible, reading God's word, and taking it to heart, not just, oh, I read this verse, that was a nice verse, which I did this morning. Oh, that's a nice verse. I'll think about it later. And then I didn't, right? You got to take these things to heart. The more you fill your mind with God's word, what's it going to do? It's like dipping, deep frying some chicken in some hot oil. Yeah, the breading's gonna get it, but the inside is too because it's being soaked in there and it's gonna sop it up. So the more you, I don't know, it's a stupid analogy, but the more you deep fry yourself in God's word, it's gonna reach the center. Okay, but it's not a bad thing like deep frying. It's a good thing. So, um, so yeah, I what was I saying? So yeah, it is. Those are things you could do, and then also, watching what you're putting in your mind, as far as are we, goodness, are we watching TV or consuming media, social media? Are we using up our time wisely and putting good things inside, or are we putting bad things? Are we watching all the negative stuff that's happening on the news? Are we watching, mindless television and death scrolling, and bed rotting? All of those things bad, very, very bad. So, so yeah, that is my that's my read on that verse. Speaking of Bible study, I signed up to go to a Bible study class, but it's on Friday nights, which I could do because I have nothing going on, no streaming, no fitness class. There's no excuse. I But the only reason why I didn't do it this past other week was because I would have missed 3 weeks in a row if I had gone the week that I was gonna go, so I just didn't go, but I need to do that. Anyways, um, and then I'll also say another thing. This is what I learned while I was on vacation is I don't know, when I'm home, when I'm here, uh, it helps me. I feel more grounded. I feel more grounded spiritually because um okay, I'm sitting down, I'm reading God's word, and I'm reflecting on it, which is big, which is huge for me because when I was on vacation, I didn't really do that, right? There was no structure like trading and sitting down and streaming and sitting out on my computer and waiting for a trade that never materializes gives me plenty of time to um read the Bible. And also I like it because if I'm trading, I want to be read up. I want to be um what was I saying? I don't know. I want to take time and be in God's word first before any trades happen, because my whole trading journey has also been a whole relationship with God journey. And so when I'm not trading, I feel like and maybe this is bad, but when I'm not trading, I feel like my relationship with God kind of just, I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's very, maybe a little lacking in that department. Because like I said, trading, it helps ground me. It does. And so, um, yeah, I I really appreciate this time. I love this time. I need this time. And so that's one of my takeaways from when I was on vacation is I I wasn't as grounded as I should have been. And there were plenty of times that I needed to be and I wasn't. So yeah, there's that. Um we still have another 17 minutes. So mm, yeah. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Let me look this up. Okay, so I just looked up this verse on Google, and the bottom it says, how to guard your heart. So, kind of what I was saying like a minute ago, fill it with God's word, meditate um, on and internalize righteous, true, and lovely things. Philippians 4:8. Well, I was looking for this verse. Okay. And then set boundaries. And this is exactly what I was saying. Be intentional about what you allow to influence you. Media, people, desires, all of that stuff. What are you letting influence you? Um, and then I didn't say this one, but yeah, pray, ask God to help to keep your heart pure and on the right path, which is something I definitely need to not forget to do. And then, be vigilant. Don't let your eyes or ears wander to distractions or evil. Keep your focus straight ahead. It's so easy, and I mean so easy, to get distracted, especially now when you're on the right path. Distractions will come at every turn possible. It's just the way it goes. When you're on the right path, that's when, you know, that's when distractions will come. That's when the enemy tries to throw you off. Because think about it, right? If you're if you're on the wrong path, why would the enemy want to deter you from being on the wrong path? You're already failing, right? You're already, going on sites you shouldn't be on, or going to places you shouldn't be going, or hanging out with people you shouldn't be hanging out with. So why would he have to tempt you with any of that stuff? Exactly, right? And so when you're doing the right thing, such as, you know, showing up, you're doing your job the way you're showing up to your job, you're giving it your all every time, even though it's exhausting. You're actively working on doing things that are to better yourself and to better your position and to step into your true purpose and calling. When you're doing all of that stuff the way you're supposed to, and then and then what happens, right? You're starting to step into where God wants you to be. What's going to happen? You're just going to start to feel attacked from a lot of different sides. Why? Because you're finally on the right path. And that's when the game to get you off your game is in play. Anyways, so that's that. Um, and I've been feeling a lot of that, especially like when I was on vacation, there was really nothing to deter me or whatever because it was like, oh, I'm not really walking on the path actively, right? Like me on the path is right now, right? Is sitting down, reading God's word, watching the market at the same time, faithfully doing my live stream, even though I get zero views, but it's cool. Anyways, doing that and at the same time, you know, dealing with life things and all of that. All of that is necessary things that are that I've been all of these things have been placed in my life for a very good reason. And so the thing about it is that when it gets when it gets hard, um I know I'm on the right path, and every time I'm back here, it's hard. It's hard to wake up every day and be like, okay, here we go again. It is hard. But when I was on vacation, it wasn't hard. Why? Because I wasn't doing any I wasn't on the charts. I wasn't reading my Bible. I wasn't really, talking to God that much. I mean, on and off, but not like I normally do when I'm here at home doing it was a part of my routine. My routine got disrupted and everything went out the window, including my daily conversation with God. And that's not a good thing. Um so yeah, um it's very important that I keep doing this. So we're about 10 minutes away, and this is gonna be one of those zero trade evenings, in which case the only thing that I would do, since we're not doing multiple little things, we're only doing two. We only have two trades from today, from this afternoon, and then zero from today. So it would end up being a day where you only took two trades, right? So yeah, let me since I'm here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, there should not be a Saturday. Oops. I want Sunday. Hey, I didn't know you could do that. Wow. Okay, wow. Nice. Anyways, yeah, there's gonna be no trade. If this had came down maybe one more, there would have been, but I don't see that happening in 9 minutes. It's possible. It's just with the volume that we're looking at, and let's pull up. Let's go to the chat. Not that chat. This chat. Okay. With this kind of volume, you're not getting anything. Also, we're getting close to the end of the year because it is December, so you might start seeing more of this going on. But yeah, I don't know what happened here. This was randomly at 10 in the morning. We shot up, and then around 9:40, we just said, "You know what? Never mind." And we just crashed. Lovely. Anyways, yeah. So again, there's just not a whole lot of volume. Not that it can't go anywhere. It just we're not sweeping any highs or previous day highs or lows. We're just kind of sitting in the middle, So there's not a whole lot of places we can go right now. This is our low, this is the high, and we're just chilling in the middle. And let's say, as you can see here, right? Here's your high, here's your low, and then we kind of bounced around until, we came crashing down. I like to try to see, sweeps of things before we get any real movement. For example, you have a low, open, was up here. I don't know. That's something I was looking into, and then it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Well, yeah, typically it bounces around for a little bit, and then when I leave at 8 o'clock, then 8:30, or anytime after 8:30, that's when the market decides to move, because it's a pattern, it's a reoccurring pattern. Anyways, we'll just we'll just be goodness, we'll just be doing just be doing nothing. But yeah, let's pull this up in case there is a trade. I don't think there's gonna be one. We have, what is it, 7 minutes? Why is my time weird? My time on my computer is 8:24. Time on my over here is actually 8:23. Don't know what happened there. Okay. Well, what do we have here? A potential trade? Maybe, maybe. Well, it's too late because it's literally what, 30 seconds away from being quitting time. Yeah, like this, it's exact, but it doesn't have to be exact, right? Like let's say I sat down at 7:29. That's fine. If I sat down at 7:28, that's fine. The 7:30 to 8:30 is a guide for me to sit down and be focused. But if a trade, for example, were to come in at 8:29 and 40 seconds, I'm not gonna take that trade, obviously, because my window is closed and it is closed right now. So that's a 0 day for me. But yeah, I'm not going to take the trade. Why? Because the window's closed and then I'd have to sit for an indefinite. Okay, cool. I'd have to sit for an indefinite period of time and wait for the trade um to okay, this one actually might just go, but I'd have to sit for an indefinite period of time and wait for the trade. Yep, and there you go. Wait for the trade to see. This one just went within a matter of seconds. What was that? Less than 30 seconds, and it went. But um, again, what was I saying? I don't know. Um, more or less the issue being that, and that was a primary, a perfect primary too. But it doesn't count. No, because I already determined that's a no trade for me, even though it was in within 30 seconds of, closing it out. So that's all we have for tonight. I will be back tomorrow as usual. I don't know if I'm going to fitness because I have a lot of work that I need to do. Um, Apologies if you can hear Zazio throwing a temper tantrum in the background. Anyways, um, that's all, and we'll see you next time, same time tomorrow, but not as early.